Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
Good morning, students. Now, is it audible? Is it audible now?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, fine. Thank you. Yeah. So let us start with the paper. Today, I will be just discussing with regard to the paper what we are going to discuss in the other classes. Like the paper title is Issues and the Policies here. Policies, which covers the many important issues which are taking place in the Indian society. First of all, what are the issues exactly? Like the issues are something which is we are taking it in the aspect of the problems which are arising, which are still there in the Indian society. For example, we have in the first unit the poverty as one of the issues, illiteracy, untouchability, and then we also have the regional imbalances and the other different many topics which are covered in the first unit. Right. Why are all these issues here? First of all, why do we take it as the aspect called the issues? Why we are calling it as a problems which are there, which we are experiencing in the society? The reason is like, because of these issues, probably maybe any country or any society may not move with the development system. Okay, so for example, India, we have achieved the independence long back from the British people, isn't it? So from then onwards, we have been talking about the planning policies. We are talking about the developmental projects, the policies, etc., etc. But there are still, we are unable to bring a very rapid and the speedy development. Why? Because there are different many problems which are there in the Indian society, and we have to work with all these problems. So we have to address all these problems, and there may be, we may try to bring solutions to these problems. Like who is the, which is the mechanism, or who is going to take up all the solutions to these particular problems, and who is really addressing all these problems? So first of all, it is the government, which usually which has the rights and the which is going to take up through the government mechanism. We are going to address these issues here. Right? So since first 5-year plan onwards, we have been able to formulate certain policies, and we are able to bring certain projects and the developmental projects, and we are able to implement all these things in order to bring development. But as far as the issues are concerned here, as we are addressing with the issues here, these issues are, we are unable to bring we are unable to reach the development, keeping in view all these issues here. So what are these issues we are going to discuss in the paper, and how we are going to, the meaning of the issues, like what are the nature of the particular things we are going to discuss in the first unit. And in the second unit, I think we come across certain approaches for the perspectives we have with regard to addressing all these issues here. So we are going to understand from the perspectives, from the theoretical perspectives, what are these things we have? Like, for example, we have the untouchability, illiteracy, poverty, all the other things. Like why there is the poverty, why there is illiteracy in the systems, fine, in the countries and all. So these we are going to understand from the perspectives which we are going to deal in the second topic. And then we come across what is called the paper, I think we also come across certain constitutional framework and the constitutional safeguards, the measures undertaken by the government in order to eradicate all these problems which are there in the society, and how far we are able to really cross all these problems, how far we are able to really bring development to different sections which are there in the Indian society. Like we have the underprivileged sections, we are taking what is called the underprivileged sections and also the backward communities we have here. So how these communities are able to utilize the measures or the programs or the benefits which are thrown by the government, which are provided by the government, and how far they are able to really come on to the mainstream, and how far they're able to really utilize these benefits in order to develop their communities and all. Like these are the things we are going to discuss in the paper. And other than this, we come across like understanding these issues, comparing it to the development aspect. So like when I just take ourselves to the first 5-year plan systems and all, usually the first 5 years, since the first 5-year plan onwards, we have fixed up the target of the Indian government is to reach development. So the goal is development, right? So when we have fixed up the development as a target here, so we have also formulated certain objectives. Fine. Certain objectives have been formulated in order, we are working on these objectives to reach the goal of development. But as I said, like we even today, after walking from the first 5-year plan onwards, we have still now in the, I think nearly more than 60 years, we have been over with the policies and all. We have been walking down till the 12th, 13th plan systems also. But still there are few communities which are not being addressed with the government. Fine. So we are going to undertake, there are certain unnotified communities also, and we are going to take these issues into consideration, and we are showing many experts have been working on these issues here. Then many researches have been conducted on these issues and all. So look, why people are unable to utilize the benefits which are given by the government, why people are unable to take up all the measures which have been provided in the system. Like, of course, now it's not that we cannot generalize it, but still many people in the Indian society they are unable to come out of those particular situations and all. So still, even we say that we are in the global era, but still we say that people are still in the poverty system. Okay, so why? What are the reasons which making them to still in the poverty system? Like, so this is, we have all the issues which most of the issues have been interconnected to each other. Like for example, if we have the poverty, maybe the conditions are interrelated to the community system, conditions are interrelated to the illiteracy and untouchability. So all these one by one we are going to study in this paper. And like other than this, we come across, like, as I say, like we are going to take it the perspective of feminism. We are going to take it take the perspective of liberal perspectives here. We are going to talk about Karl Marx aspect of understanding the situation in the societies, Karl Marx, Max Weber, and also we have different other theories we are going to deal in this paper here. So because this is the first class here, I just wanted to talk to you all with regard to the what is called the syllabi content of the paper here. So this is very important paper, as well as if you have any future aspects, like future aspirations, like going to the groups or the other services, or any kind of constructive future here, we can really be, it is not just confined to the subject, but it is also a general awareness we are going to give in this paper, like understanding the society and dealing with the different problems which we are experiencing day by day in our society. Okay, is it audible, guys? Okay. Actually, so this I didn't look into the syllabi content here. Okay, so from tomorrow onwards, I think we can start with the topics. So tomorrow we are going to deal with tomorrow we are going to start with the first unit, and I probably because we have been allotted with few classes, so I have to just finish off the syllabus within those stipulated timings and all. So I try to finish off first unit tomorrow. So we'll start with the topics tomorrow itself. Okay, fine. Yeah. So any general things where you can discuss with me now with regard to sociology topics, or with regard to the sociology syllabus or your paper? A general discussion. Any discussions? Yeah. So let me just continue with the syllabus content here. As I was talking about the syllabus content here, in the first unit, we'll start with the poverty. We also have illiteracy. We also have, I think, regional imbalances. Regional imbalances. We also have untouchability as an important issue here. And we also have what is called violence against women. So if you just talk about the violence against women here, see, as far as Indian system is concerned, because we were in the traditional Indian system long back, not now, but we are modernizing, we are globalizing also. But even though women are educating themselves and they are coming onto the mainstream, they are becoming empowered. Okay, they are joining the politics. They are also into the economic aspect. They're contributing to the family's economic survival system. Fine, but still, women are being facing with the violence. Okay, there are different many violence. Probably women who is working in in an organization, even such women is facing the in the workplace, at the workplace also the violence, maybe by the boss or some other co-workers. Okay, so which cannot be identified. Sometimes even women may not come out with such kind of situation. She cannot speak about that kind of situation. So what exactly the violence near the workplace and the different types of violence the women is facing in the society, that we are going to discuss. Like, why violence against women? Usually, why violence against women? So there are certain causative factors for the violence which has been taking place by the women. It is not that only men are creating the violence towards women, but maybe even women is also a victim and also a person who is creating the violent situation for the women itself. For example, if you take a family situation here, in a family unit, we come across a mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law. So their interaction and their connectivity also may come across, they may come across the situation called violence. So each may not be having that understanding of the cordiality between themselves. So in such situation also, we may come across the situation called the violence, which may take place either by the mother-in-law or by the daughter-in-law. So even that case, we can consider for the violence against women here. So usually what we understand in general is when we talk about the violence against women, it is only we are looking from the men aspect, when men is creating some kind of harassment over the women, or maybe with the wife or or maybe with the mother or some other women in the society. But this is not exactly true. But usually it is not only men, also women are involved in creating the violence for the women here, isn't it? So this we are going to study in the topic here. And one more topic we are going to deal is, which is very important issue which has been taking place presently now, the regional imbalances here. The regional imbalance is something we are dealing with each and every region. We are going to identify the regions here. We are going to deal with the regions which are very poor, which are really very not developed here. And we also have, for example, if you take only Indian society, our own Indian society, you come across the regions which are highly developed. And we come across the regions which are totally undeveloped. Like, what are the reasons why one is, which is there in the same country, but still one is highly developed, which is undeveloped. One other region is very, totally poor in a very pathetic conditions, very undeveloped situation. Like, why the gap exactly? Why there is the difference here? So what are the reasons for this kind of imbalances we can experience? Like, what are the things usually we have to address with this highly developed communities, highly developed regions, and the undeveloped regions? So what are the reasons why they are undeveloped? Probably usually we come across the geographical factors, which usually that region which is undeveloped may be not suitable for. Usually we try to take it from economic aspect, social aspect here. So if you take a geographical aspect here, the geographical conditions, or maybe the land, which usually when you go with the agricultural system, economic aspect, if you take, when you make address, when you're identifying with the agricultural aspect, the output or the productivity may not be as equivalent to the regions which are developed here. The reason is maybe the land is not fertile, or the geographical situations are not properly which is not exactly suitable for the agriculture purpose, or which is not apt to that particular region here. So that may be one of, say, I'm just giving an example here, that may be one of the reasons for why that region is highly developed and the other region is undeveloped. Maybe some other reasons are there. So what are the reasons we have for the gap between one region is highly developed and at least they're developing and the other region is undeveloped? So such kind of things we are going to identify in the topic called regional imbalances. For example, now if you take Kerala, Kerala is a developed state, but still it has 100% literacy rate. So even in India, when you're taking Kerala, we are showing that Kerala is totally 100% literacy. But other communities, if you take the other states, if you take other districts, if you take some other regions, if you take, okay, there are regions which totally, there is no literacy at all. So probably maybe people are mass illiterate or semi-illiterate. So why this gap actually? What are the reasons? So we are going to identify taking each and every issue in this particular topic called regional imbalance here. Likewise, we come across untouchability as one of the big issue in the Indian society. So we are going to trace back the root causes of the untouchability, why there is untouchability, what are the causative factors for the untouchability, consequences of the untouchability. So this we are going to study in our paper. And moreover, from we talk about the different theoretical perspectives, which usually we try to understand the issues from the theoretical perspectives here. So very important one we are going to take up is Karl Marx aspect of understanding the society, and also understanding the society and addressing with the issues here. Like for example, poverty, if you take. So how Karl Marx is addressing the poverty system. Like usually Karl Marx perspective, you try to take it from different many aspects. We can take it to the poverty situation or the industrialization process, maybe some other aspects here. But like, what are the root causes for the poverty? Why there is the poverty in the societies, that we are going to study from different perspectives. The perspectives are only the viewpoints, and they are going to talk about this may happen, this is occurring because of certain things. So what are the things we are going to dig out from the history, that we are going to take it from the paper. Okay. And moreover, not only all these things, we are going to, I think some other topics are there. I don't have the syllabus now as far as me on my table. So tomorrow we are going to start with the topics one by one. We are going to take it in a very in-depth manner, the causes, consequences, and understanding the nature of that particular issue, that we are going to start from tomorrow onward. Okay. Anything to ask me? Any questions you can put to me? I didn't start with the topics. I didn't start with the syllabus. I'm just discussing in general what are the topics are there in the syllabus content. Okay. So I think tomorrow we are going to meet at the same time. We'll start with the topics tomorrow. Okay. I think how many are there in the class? Nearly 11 students are there in the class, and the others are there. Okay. So this is about the title of the paper and the issues we are going to discuss, and the other topics like constitutional safeguards. What are the measures taken by the government? What are the benefits being provided to the government, to the underprivileged communities here? For example, if you take, we come across women is also considered as the category where you need to provide certain measures, and we need to provide certain benefits so that women can develop herself here. So now I think in the present modern situation, women is a key contributor to the family, also economic wise, isn't it? So we started this, I mean, the women started this long back here, but we never identified this aspect of contribution of women to the family itself. But earlier, we usually understand that, we usually feel that women used to confine herself to the family, and she was not given the power to take decisions also. But now, though she was an intelligent feminine, she belonged to the intelligent feminine nature, but still, usually we never have given that liberty to take the decisions by the family, because we are in a patriarchal system. So that's, I think now we are foregoing all those things, and now we have already entered into a new system called the modernity here. So we are in the process of modernity and also the global process here. So in this purview, what are the issues which are existing, and how far we are able to remove or eradicate or totally forget about all the issues, whether is it possible through all the measurements we are taking, or whether we are able to curb these problems. This we are going to study in the paper. So this is more than a sociological, this is more a general paper, we can say, where you are going to talk about different many issues which usually we every day in our life we try to hear, or we watch in our TVs and all, we read in our newspapers also. So these are the few things we are going to cover in our paper. Okay, so probably I think I'll meet tomorrow in our class at 11:30. I'll start with the topics. Okay. So thank you all for today. Thank you all for today. So we'll meet tomorrow at 11:30. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Hello, sir.